In October 2023, New York City launched the MyCity Chatbot, built on Microsoft's Azure AI and marketed as a one-stop shop for business owners navigating city regulations. An investigation by the markup revealed what the bot was actually telling them. Yes, you can take a cut of your workers' tips. Yes, you can refuse cash. No, landlords do not need to accept Section 8 vouchers. Each one is illegal under New York City law. This is the difference between a chatbot and a civil servant. A wrapper cannot tell the two apart. It is a foundation model with a system prompt, optimized to predict the next plausible token, not to enforce the next applicable statute. A bot that hallucinates a legal permission is not a public servant. It is a public liability. 3 forces collapse the wrapper in a public sector deployment. The first is sycophancy. Reinforcement learning from human feedback rewards the model for being helpful, for agreeing with the user's premise. The second is temporal stasis. New York's cashless ban became law in 2020. If the training data is dominated by older text, the model defaults to general landlord-friendly common law. The third is naive REG. Splitting a statute into chunks severs the prohibition from its exception. The chatbot itself, asked directly, told users it could be relied on for professional business advice, contradicting the city's own footer disclaimer. Veriprajna's response is statutory citation enforcement. The architecture treats government AI not as a creative conversationalist, but as a deterministic retrieval engine. 4 phases. Phase 1, the legal knowledge graph. The New York City Administrative Code is mapped into a hierarchical structure. Title, chapter, subchapter, section, paragraph. Each node is tagged with effective date, penalty, enforcing agency. Definitions are linked to operative clauses, so the full legal scope arrives with every query. Phase 2, hierarchical hybrid search. When a user asks about cashless stores, the system does not search the corpus for the word cash. It traverses Title 20 Consumer Affairs to Subchapter 21, retrieving Section 20-840 alongside its penalties and exceptions. Phase 3, retrieval-constrained decoding. The model is forced to emit a strict JSON object containing a claim, a citation identifier, and a source URL. The output vocabulary is dynamically masked. If the model attempts to generate a citation that is not in the retrieved context, the logit for that token is set to negative infinity. The neural pathway to a fabricated section number is closed. Phase 4, the verification layer. Before any answer reaches the user, an auditor agent checks 3 conditions. Entailment, does the cited text support the claim? Conflict, are there competing statutes in the retrieval set? Currency, is the citation effective today? On any failure, the output is suppressed and the system falls back to a safe refusal. 2 precedents define the stakes. The first is Moffat v. Air Canada, a 2024 Canadian tribunal ruling that the airline could not disclaim liability for its chatbot's hallucinated bereavement policy. The defense, that the chatbot was a separate legal entity, responsible for its own actions, was rejected. The deployer remains responsible for everything its automated agent says. The second is the proprietary function exception to sovereign immunity. When a city operates a chatbot that gives specific business advice, it acts more like a private consultant than a sovereign. Consultants are liable for malpractice. Stating the law is a ministerial duty, not a discretionary one. There is no immunity for getting it wrong. The European Union goes further. The EU AI Act classifies any AI used in essential public services as high risk. Demanding data governance, transparency, and accuracy guarantees that a probabilistic chatbot cannot meet. A wrapper that hallucinates statutes is no longer just embarrassing. It is non-compliant by design. For a municipal CIO, the calculus is now binary. Stance A, the wrapper. The city becomes its own adversary. A landlord follows the bot's advice, denies a Section 8 tenant and is fined $250,000 by the Commission on Human Rights, and then defends in court with entrapment by estoppel against the city's own enforcement. Stance B, the engine. Every answer carries a citation, a source URL, a validity window, and a traversal path. Every interaction becomes a logged forensic record. A topic-level kill switch disables the housing node without taking the platform down. The principle is older than artificial intelligence. It is better to be silent than to be wrong. The era of the beta government chatbot is over. The era of the deterministic digital civil servant must begin. The argument, the architecture, the engineering blueprint. Inside.